Hi, I'm Colleen Householder. I'm the Executive Director for North Sonoma County Services. We provide homeless services for people who live in Healdsburg, Windsor, Geyserville, and Cloverdale. And I got into this job actually because when I first thought of homeless people, I really did not have a good opinion of them. I thought they should be able to get themselves out of the situation they are in.
I'm Richard Caparetta. I'm the Homeless Service Coordinator for North Sonoma County Services. I go out to the camps and I do one-on-one with the homeless in this area. I was homeless myself for many years. I started back in 1979. Was the first time I was homeless in San Francisco, and I've been homeless multiple times up here.
I really didn't understand what homelessness was. So I volunteered to be on the board of what was then North County Community Services. And from there, I gained a lot more insight on what is going on with our homeless population in this town specifically. And then as I started learning more from other towns around, I really realized how misinformed I was about what was going on with the homeless. So if that's possible for me, who has now become the executive director of a homeless organization, to go from not liking them and feeling like they needed to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps to now serving an organization that helps assist them, it was quite an education that I went through. And so in talking with Harvey Brody, who's one of the gentlemen who started this campaign, it really became clear that the way we needed to make this work and to have the community accept those of us who cannot afford housing or need additional assistance is to educate them. And education starts obviously for all of us in school. And so that's when the connections to the students came. In fact, the first school that we ever did a presentation to was the Healdsburg School. And they had a third grade class there that came up with these phenomenal art pieces surrounding homelessness and low-income housing. And that's what started this movement, because Harvey and other people saw the artwork that they created and said, wow, we really should do this on a larger scale. So this is where this project came from, and it really is more of an education campaign to get people in this community to understand who are the homeless, what do they look like, what are their stories, and create an understanding of what their life is like out there by the river or under the bridge or wherever it is that they are living right now. And to find out why we need to help them. Why is it important? Why do they matter? And to give visibility to those who have been invisible for a very long time.
I was a drug addict and homeless, and I was of the hopeless variety. You know, that everybody turned their back on me, and I was in the streets, had nothing to look forward to. I was at my bottom, and there's a shelter up in Cloverdale called the Walls House. Let me in, and they there's a bed available. I got into the Walls House, and then I went through their whole program. I went through from their homeless shelter to the transitional housing, to their low-income housing, to my own place. And I remember the day when they gave me a little responsibility, and that was like huge for me. And it gave me a little hope, you know, because I ran out of hope. I didn't have nothing. And I remember that day that they gave me, they asked me if I would just do showers for them, okay, in the office, and that was like huge. They gave me the key to their office, and it gave me hope. So from there, it just grew, and now I have my life back.
And also, it's a way to show people that homelessness is not just people who live out there. It is people who are couch surfing, or people who are living 3 families to an apartment because they can't afford to live in this town, and finding ways to educate people on how we can assist even those who serve us in this community to be able to stay in housing locally so that they can serve us here as well as enjoy their lives here with their family. So it's turned into this huge campaign for that, and to just really enlighten people on why it's important to care for others in need. Why should you care? Why should it matter to you? Well, I'm hoping from this campaign that people will walk away from this feeling like, okay, now I understand why it's important. And they will also come away with a feeling of what can I personally do to make a difference for those who need. And it can be as simple as looking someone directly in the eyes when you see them to know that they matter and that you acknowledge them. It can be as detailed as working with community leaders and county leaders to find ways to find housing. It can be doing a coat drive or a sock drive at your school. There are countless ways people can help, and so we're hoping that we'll give them an education on why it matters, why it's important, and then we will give them the tools by which they can help make a difference for those who need our assistance in this community.
So now I'm the homeless service coordinator, and I go down into the encampments, and I'm one-on-one with these individuals, and I know how they feel. I know how it feels to wake up in the morning. There's no hope. You're under that bridge still. You're dirty. You smell and you're hungry and you're afraid and you're cold and all this stuff. It's like that. You wake up and it's over and over again. And first it's like 1 week, then it's 2 weeks, then it's a month, and before you know it, it's been years. I'm here to give these guys and these ladies and men hope. And that's what our organization is about. That's what North Sonoma County Services is about, is helping people to get off the streets. And not only that, is to prevent homelessness also. Okay, so we need the support of the public to do this. Because this is in our backyard. This is in your backyard. This is right down the street from you. I mean, you drive through town and you see them. You can only turn your cheek so long. But they're still there. So, what we're asking for is for a little help to help us to help them. And, we could start by we could use sleeping bags, we could use tarps, we could use blankets, clothes, watches, cleaning supplies, food. Whatever you could bring down, will help, and hopefully we're going to get some people that are going to want to help to try to help to get these guys off the street, or at least give them somewhere safe to be.
So the goal to end homelessness in the next 10 years started with the county, and that is something that is being encouraged for all cities in the county. And so what we're trying to do as ways to reach that goal for our organization are doing more homeless outreach. We have Rick Caffaretta, who goes out and does homeless outreach with the different encampments around town. We go out and we talk to people and we find out what are their needs, how can we assist them. And then what we do is we ask them to clean the area, and then we will provide them something. We want this to be a team effort. It's not just about us giving out. It's about us helping them lift themselves up. It's the same with the housing in this area. There's not a lot of available housing. So some of the things we're working on right now are what's called master leases, which is we try and lease a home from a local homeowner and then release that to other people in our organization who need assistance and get them to stabilize so they can afford market rate rents in this area. We also are looking to see what is the possibility of either adding a shelter or some other kind of rapid rehousing programs so that more people can get invited into homes. It's just a way we can all work together, and that's what this campaign is launching, I hope, is a community-wide effort to ask ourselves, what can we do to stop and to decrease the homeless population here, and how can we all together end this? Because it's not just going to be one person's drive, it's got to be everybody's goal here. And we hope that by doing more campaigns like this, more people are going to care, and they will also want to end homelessness, and it's very doable. It's not a difficult goal if we all agree that this needs to end. And I think this is such a big-hearted community in Healdsburg and in the surrounding areas. There's a lot of people who care. There's also a lot of resources, and there's a lot of funds. So it's easily solvable if we all agree that this is something that needs to be taken care of. And I hope with this, campaign, this education, we will get more people to agree with us that this does need to end, and it should end within the next 10 years.
That's what I'm doing here. You know, I'm passionate about my work. You know, I care tremendously about these guys and about these ladies. You know, and if you come to this art show, you'll be able to see what they're about and where they come from and where they want to be. They don't want to be on the street. You know, not all of them want to be in the street. They would like to get off the street. So they can't do it unless we help them.
I think that was bad. Was Santa Rosa. I was 2 weeks old, and my dad. My mom drove to the bathroom, and then the bills were all gone. Something happened, and I got kicked out, and then I almost 30 years, and that's all there is to it. When you're homeless in Healdsburg. My name is Stephen Douglas Badger. Thank you very much for the interview. Bye-bye.
I became homeless when I got out of a really violent relationship. It was like every day I was getting beat on.
Due to like things like incest, physical abuse, things like that, I left home when I was 14 and have off and on had this life. Not nearly as good as I have it now. It's a learning experience, and you adapt and you learn what you need to be comfortable in your life if you're going to live that life.
My birth name was Michelle Denise Beck, but my marriage name is Michelle Denise Daniels. And I was homeless in Roanoke Park and in Santa Rosa. And I was taking care of a guy who had cerebral palsy and was in the military, and I stayed on Johnson Street, helping him until his mom kicked me and everybody else out.
He'd start drinking and I would get beat on. And there came a couple times where he almost killed me. And the last time he almost killed me is when I decided to leave.
So I've been homeless for many different reasons at many different times. I've been here for almost 6 years. And a couple different I ended up, my kids are here. Because essentially I'm a mom. I have really good kids. I concentrate and focus very hard at being a mom. If I want my kids to have the experience of having both parents in their lives, this is kind of what I have to do. I get Social Security. I have for like the last 2.5 years. I've been out here, not in this camp particularly, for almost 6 years. I've had probably 9 to 11 camps in this area. My ex-husband has the belief that when a boy turns 18, he should be able to be an adult. He has a bad habit of making my children leave when they're still children, they're 18. So when I found out that my youngest, who had just turned 18, was not equipped to be an adult, he was just a baby. You know, his dad put him out here, and I was like, well, you know, he still needs his mom. So I came too.
So that was when I made my choice. Either you can be homeless on the streets, or you can be beat on for the rest of your life, and I decided to be homeless.
So you're down by the creek now?
I'm down the Dry Creek, yeah.
Yeah.
Since the cops have kicked us out of every place we live, and we wind up going back to Dry Creek because it's more normal and it's not got a lot of people there. And the cops normally don't come down there and start harassing people. But they did one time. the sheriffs.
For the last 2 years, I camped with somebody named Jerry, who I wish could be here physically right now. That whole area over there is a memorial to him. That was his camp. He passed away on January 21st from cancer in my arms at the hospital.
You know, everything that you see on the news is all bad. You know, there's, you know, I go down to these encampments and I watch these homeless in this area, and they take care of each other. They watch each other's back. You know, they help each other with if somebody's in need. You know, they'll go down there and help them move out of their camp. If they're by the river and the water's coming up, well then they'll run down there and they'll help them. They won't turn their back on them. You know, they are good people. You know, not all of them are. You know, there's some that need a little bit more work than others. But so do people that are I mean, living in houses. You know, some people are good, some are bad. But a majority of the homeless here in this town are really good people. You know, they care about each other. You know, and that's not how it is in a lot of places. Would you if the opportunity came up, would you get off the street?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I've been trying to get off the street.
Okay.
It's not easy.
Yeah, no.
I get $900 a month. I'm on SSI and SSA.
Okay.
And I've been trying to get my Section 8 started again. But that's another story.
Yeah. When I first started doing this job, I was going down to the encampments, and I wasn't welcome. You know, there's days where there's some people there hitting rocks with baseball bats at me. One gentleman, he would growl at me whenever I go down there, and he'd walk by me and he'd growl, but I was just polite with them, you know, and I treated them with respect. And the first thing that they noticed was, I would always tell them, I would ask them, what can you use? They would tell me, and I'd tell them, okay, I'll be back tomorrow at 10. I made sure that I was there at 10 o'clock, okay, right on the nose, man. And I did this for a few times. And then one of the gentlemen, that's what he said. He goes, "Man, you're always here. You always do what you say you're going to do." So they started trusting me a little bit, you know. And whatever I tell them that I'm going to do, I do, you know. And then I'm earning their, you know, I started earning their respect. And now it went from respect to a relationship. I have a relationship with these guys, you know, where we respect each other and we treat each other with respect. And they're starting to trust me. I mean, you know, to have them come and talk in front of a camera or to have pictures taken of them is huge, because that wasn't going to happen 6 months ago. You know, so yes, that's how I get their trust.
Every time I would sleep, I would wake up and somebody touching me. For that whole year, from 11 till the day I turned 12. On my 12th birthday, he raped me. So I started doing meth. So when I was 12, and then I just went off the hook. I started going out, not coming home. Then when I was 14, I got pregnant. And he was born premature. I went to a program, and I went to go and try and get clean and all that. And when I got there, I was like, I'm 14 years old. How am I gonna care for a premature baby? And so that was when I decided to give him up for adoption. I gave him up for adoption, and I guess maybe it was the best thing I could do, but then again, it's like, this time around, I had a little girl. She's 8 months old. I got bypassed really soon because of the fact that I gave my son up for adoption when I was 14. I tried so hard. Did everything I was supposed to. All the way to the point where it was like everybody around me was using, and I was so good the first 4 months. And then I relapsed once. And that's not even what it went on when my son was born. When my daughter was born, she because there was nothing in either one of our systems when she was born. What they went on was when I first confirmed my pregnancy that this is what they went on. CPS did, and so they took her. So I got bypassed. I mean, I haven't seen her in 4 months, you know, and it's like, so I came back. When they took her from me, I came back to the streets because, I mean, I don't have my child, so what's the reason of me even living in a house, you know? I mean, but that was my thinking of it at that point, you know, but it's like, it's hard. It's hard having to know the stress of knowing that you have nowhere to call home. You have nowhere to be.